Yeah. Because for some reason they don't have another actor hotel. More people. And then I said, well, then they drink more beer then. By the time we start, they're more drunk.
CDs are available, by the way.
Lyrics to the song, but you didn't sing them. Thank you.
Assistant night manager at the Circle K on 1st and Fort Lauderdale, drinking off-brand energy beverages and watching the local news in his rented bungalow. The audience will be asked to mentally populate the walls of Hank's apartment with posters of mixed martial arts fighters and other relevant memes of popular culture. Memes of popular culture. The male newscaster, who bears almost no resemblance to Bert Sass, is in the midst of a report about the government's plans to staunch the Gulf Coast oil spill by privatizing Social Security when he suddenly stops reading from the teleprompter after a few moments of awkward silence, during which the agitated murmurings of the floor director can be heard. The newscaster begins to intone a curious diatribe that is both off-key and off-script. He has, in point, gone rogue.
Your credit cards and the carbon offsets. Your last and exit and out of date iPhone. And a photograph of your foreclosed home. you go inside. Cause I think it's time to say goodbye. Giant fiberglass terrorists wrapped in paper mache are going on to the banks by Albert cranes. Their red eyes glow as mama fascists hate. Some little thing to get music and code and paint. Dragons drive in the mud of festival graves, holding their open books and ice lattes. Rock mountains take them shoveling in the sand. This martini can be effective every brand. Rock and roll is surface there and your skin. The curtains change, it's getting harder to swim. Still the page scientists say all the facts are in. They should run some regression analyses again. Cause just another soundtrack of buzzing flies. It's water big while holograms fill the sky. Show woman child stars being crucified for a reality show that'll debut in July. And I think it's time to say goodbye. It's best to forget all the shocking days gone by. Clear your mind and let yourself become one with the tide. You got the change you're hoping for right between the eyes. Just empty out your pockets before you go inside. Just think it's time to say goodbye. Yeah, I think it's time to say goodbye.
Suddenly, Blackwater, suddenly, not Blackwater, I meant to say G. Security forces suddenly converge from off camera and begin applying their tasers to the blank-eyed newscaster, prompting the camera crew to shout in tiresome Pavlovian fashion, "Don't tase me, bro!" At which beloved catchphrase, the female newscaster, who looks almost nothing like Donna Pangburn, laughs in a polite and professionally condescending manner as the private contractors drag the newscaster's twitching body away from the anchor desk. Hank wonders vaguely if he should perhaps do something to protest this egregious civil rights violation. Before he can update his Facebook page, however, his train of thought is interrupted by a series of exciting beer and cell phone commercials, which utilize the latest advances in CGI technology. When the female newscaster returns, she announces proudly that video of the recent tasering has already gone viral, spawning several parodies, a brief backlash, a stunning resurgence, a YouTube video by the popular band OK Go, and rumors of a possible movie deal, possibly involving Steve Guttenberg. Seeing that he still has an hour or so before his shift begins, Hank phones his girlfriend, Candace, who lives in the Sleepy Hollow trailer park. When Candace finally returns and answers, her breathless and somewhat incoherent agitation fills Hank with alarm. He's about to ask her, should he come stop by on his way to work to check on her? When the sound of muffled laughter and a squeaking horn, followed by a brief burst of calliope music, stills the words in his throat. It is clear that his girlfriend has again fallen off the wagon and given in to the unspeakable temptations of calrophilia.
just another lie. She's stuck into this world, satisfies her like a faithful love and green pie. She can't write any song off the all-time skill, her with love. I even got her to back one time, beginning to give head to a mine. So I get mad, and you can inside, she's fucking clown, yeah. She's fucking clown, yeah. It's got the face full of heart that's a like my friend. She's fucking clowns again. When I'm sitting in a bar drinking gin and wondering how I think it's done so wrong. The last time we kissed, I could taste it for the first time in 2 5 believe that's my mind song. There, all the music is haunts me. I hear it at night. I hear her crying clouds of air. It starts to burn like shibari. And it seems clear to me she's fucking clowns again. She's fucking clowns again. It's such a physical heart that's a laugh, my friend. She's fucking clowns again.
So, is this supposed to be some kind of magical realism, or, Okay. Opening his eyes, Hank realizes that he's apparently no longer in his apartment, but is, in fact, sitting in a bar with a half-empty Tanqueray and tonic in his hand. Even more curiously, he seems to be at the Manhattan Club, a downtown dive that was, as far as Hank knows, torn down many years ago. Despite the fact that it no longer exists, the bar is going gangbusters this evening. A chicken scratch band, the Papa Go-Go's, is playing aggressive polkas on a makeshift stage, while dozens of vaguely homicidal regulars down pictures of old Milwaukee, and nervous college students try out different levels of ironic detachment. Baffled by the abrupt shift in location, stricken to his core by Candace's recidivism, Hank quickly downs the TNT he finds in his hand and orders another, and then another, and another, and another, and eventually the alcohol coursing through his body merges with the anguish festering in his soul, inspiring the usually reticent Hank to cast off all social conventions, clamber atop the bar, bear his plan to the vast, uncaring world, using a fairly obvious metaphor that is often utilized in songs of this nature. Ed, don't forget to give the bass man some love.
I will.
We got him stand up to any kind of weather. Now this link to the ceiling, hold the floor. He thinks you notice, nail to the door, after door, from the floor. I love his incredible, plaster, healing, off the wall, installation, power, everything turned off. People like I can see a horror from the floor, baby. sleep. I used to wake up every morning with a laughter in my ears, and now the drywall does show the crack of my tears with a blueprint about love under the roof. Curses, hell, I'm Flora, from the Flora. I love the things of the bees, and on the wall, I look at this matches. I will have to hurt a people like I can see a Flora, from the Flora.
Hank's impromptu performance is greeted with a smattering of beer bottles lobbed at his head, as well as a few rounds of small caliber fire. This is Arizona. Hank is unaffected by this reaction due to the pleasant haze of juniper and stale pretzels into which he has drifted. His sense of alcoholic contentment is mitigated only by a nagging feeling that he should perhaps phone in sick to work. Looking around for a public phone, Hank is suddenly struck by what can only be described as a Stephen Daedalus-like epiphany. To wit, that the everyday clothing choices of the majority of his fellow citizens, the cowboy outfits, the biker regalia, the polo shirts, and authentic gangster clothing purchased from Hot Topic, evokes a distinctive Halloween-like ambiance, regardless of the actual calendar date. An older man who looks nothing at all like Johnny Gibson, despite the pair of vintage barber's scissors dangling from his belt, seems to have read Hank's mind. He sidles up to him and whispers with curious emphasis, "Partner, every day is Halloween in this here country." The Chicken Scratch Band, as though waiting for a prompt, immediately launches into a song that examines this very theme. There are those who would say the theme is sufficiently examined after the first chorus, rendering the rest of the song redundant. But then, who are we to judge such matters?
The Chicken Scratch Band stops because the drummer, for some reason, played it a tempo twice the tempo at which they practiced the song. I couldn't tell
Pretty glass of cheese, legal rejection, immaculate conception. That wheel in America. We came to other countries like Somalia. There's a blood respect. My radio respects the last expression. It's already been spent. So, it's time to do a hit in America. We're gathered by the struggle into the media. When the Jesus is here, you can almost taste the fear. With your feet, people are fasting. Out there are lots of outlaws. There are lots of police, rolling streets of ethanol, and nooses in the trees. The people feel like heaven from the just as like get a girl, yoga, your dog in the sun while crawling on their knees. Scraping the oil from BP. Scrape that penguin, buddy.
As the band congratulates themselves on the synchronized G chord that earned them the song, Hank looks expectantly at the non-barber, waiting for the sort of sage advice that is customarily dispensed by an elderly stock character like this in stories like these. The man, however, simply peers at Hank with undisguised avidity, as though he is restraining a primal urge to administer a savage crew cut to Hank's head. With some awkwardness, Hank excuses himself from the old man's muscular grasp and stumbles to the restroom in the rear of the bar. Blinking in surprise, he finds himself in an area that resembles the foyer of a dentist's office, only with even more legal prints. In one corner, Geronimo and Lozen, the famous female Apache warrior, are discussing ways of solving the vexing problem of illegal immigration. In another corner, members of a traveling tent revival group are holding a spirited discussion about the relative merits of hermeneutics and exegesis. Meme. In the third corner, there is a large amateurish painting of the fourth corner, in the shadows of which a feral folk singer has been rendered with a few suggestive brushstrokes. In the fourth corner, the actual flesh and blood folk singer, clad in a Nehru jacket, suddenly lunges toward Hank, brandishing his teeth and threatening to sing pentatonic songs about urgent social problems. Fortunately, the musician is shackled to a heavy copper chain that is cemented to the floor, allowing Hank to avoid any serious injury. While others in the room begin criticizing Hank for his outrageous social gaffe, it being common knowledge that you should never make direct eye contact with anybody holding an acoustic guitar. Losan attempts to dispel any sense of embarrassment by generously asking the folk singer to entertain them all with his recently penned tribute to Nick Drake. You know, the guy from the Volkswagen commercial. And the other commercial I heard a few days ago when I was watching CSI. The folk singer, as might be guessed, readily complies.
His eyes seem like a leader to take exception. His hair is the shape of a prepositional phrase.
Apropos of nothing, that song was for Jennifer. Now back to the album.
The crowd gives the usual escalatory round of applause.
Thank you.
Hank, meanwhile, has been summoned by a woman from the revival group. She introduces herself as Libertina Feldman and asks Hank if he has heard about the upcoming rapture, which is due to transpire in precisely 5 minutes and 27 seconds, according to all of the learned elders, except for Leonard and his cousin Shlomo, and Bernie, who missed the vote because of a doctor's appointment. Hank nods eagerly and indicates that he has been waiting his entire life for this moment, despite the fact that his rapture knowledge is derived entirely from an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie he once saw as part of a double bill with Porky's 3 at the De Anza Drive-In. As he holds her hand and awaits God's judgment, Hank realizes, as is the custom of many youthful drunks, that he is suddenly madly in love with Libertina Feldman, that she is his soul mate and one true love, and that he will devote the last minutes of his mortal life to making her happy and fulfilled. If put into song format, Hank's feelings would sound remarkably similar to this.
Bye.
The foyer is suddenly filled with the sound of trumpets. The sound of trumpets being blown by angels who allow their moucherie to deteriorate, resulting in a death, men.
Embouchure.
Ambush to allow their ombudsmans to deteriorate, resulting in a cacophony that is slightly less grating than that of a studium full of vuvuzelas. The members of the tent revival group with stunning velocity immediately rocket toward the heavens. However, since they're in a small room with a hardwood ceiling, the results are more corporeal than celestial. The sound of human heads repeatedly slamming against the unyielding mesquite even overwhelms the atonal bleating of the angels, several of whom are attempting an Albert medley. Hank, realizing with relief that he's not one of the elect, bids farewell to his erstwhile soulmate and ducks quickly through the door. His relief is short-lived, though, as he is immediately set upon by black-clad members of the ASCAP Secret Police, a division of Z, who inform Hank that he's under arrest for employing a Jimi Hendrix riff in the previous song without first obtaining copyright permission. Hank is handcuffed, thrown into a SWAT car, and driven to the Maricopa County Jail, where he's put in a tent with two other copyright violators, a category of felon ranked slightly below that of pedophile in the prison hierarchy. Ralph, the larger of Hank's two tent mates, takes a guitar from under his cot and begins singing the traditional Grover Cleveland prison song to welcome Hank to his new accommodations.
Rock the land. Men would bow their heads in shame and drop through pentagrams in the sand with hands that bulge with latent veins, waving grim thermometers like a comet goes according to plan. We're rounded up with Grover Cleveland along the land. With Grover Cleveland stroke the earth, women renounce their given names, protected by his liquid girth. Beyond the siren call of ancient flame, casting off kilometers and forging freshly minted mix of birds. But meanwhile, all the rich street voters screaming Grover Cleveland stole the earth. When Grover Cleveland filled the sky, children put down their cannibal games and plucked the nose from the third eyes. Sprouted from their foreheads in the rain, sending off stenographers, inviting themselves by fire. But meanwhile, all the registered voters, the songs of Grover Cleveland filled the sky.
Months pass. Hank is assigned the most tedious and backbreaking tasks imaginable, digging ditches, cleaning trash from roadways, and working on Rio Nuevo budget committees. The environment of the jail is almost unendurable. The crowded conditions further exacerbated by the influx of new prisoners arrested under suspicion of being Mexican. Looking like a Mexican, originating from a country that Mexicans are known to frequent, rolling their R's, doing routine investigations, or harboring Mexican brands of salsa in their refrigerators. Hank is unable to find a gang in which to throw his lot. The Aryan Brotherhood claim that some of his character references on his application form are sketchy. So he's forced to defend himself against the numerous predators that roam the prison at night. And by defend, I mean, of course, allowing himself to be brutally sodomized. From bowsprit to tiller, from foremast to mizzenmast, from, what the hell is this?
Foxhole.
From foxhole to poop. I'm sorry. I have no idea where all this ship imagery is coming from. In any event, Hank is disconsolate and can no longer find the strength to carry on. When the predators give him a night off because of a previously scheduled pinochle tournament, Hank confesses his desire to end his life to his other roommate, the guy who isn't named Ralph. The guy who isn't named Ralph tells Hank of a little-known prison loophole, the gist of which is that if Hank agrees to join the United States Army, a subsidiary of Z, and serve a tour of duty in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, North Korea, or any other state, caliphate, country, continent to be named later, the rest of his prison sentence will be forgiven by the state. Excitedly, Hank contacts the appropriate prison official and makes an appointment to sign the... let's skip here. That night, Hank has difficulty sleeping due to his happiness at being out of prison and his nervousness about the upcoming deployment. He tries to lull himself to sleep by mulling over pleasant memories from his childhood in Sunny Slope. Unfortunately, the only memory he can recall with any clarity is that unspeakable evening when he was about 5 or 6 years and accidentally encountered his sweaty, grunting parents while they were busy having a party with friends from work, drinking Harvey Wallbangers and bottles of cold duck. One note before the band begins: although atavistic references occur frequently in this presentation, the audience should feel free to replace the song's 70s imagery with the appropriate 80s references to better accord with Hank's age. For example, Haircut 100 extended dance remixes and colorful workout clothing can be substituted for hippies and Herb Alpert. Thank you.
Are having a party. My parents are having a ball. Their voices go louder with each passing hour, and cigarette smoke fills the hall. It's almost 1 in the morning. I lie on my bed wide awake. Someone drops a glass and everybody laughs. I fold my hands and beg. My dad is on the couch with Mrs. Johnson. He's whispering something in her ear. She laughs much too loud with her hand wipes her mouth, and then she calls for another beer. I stuffed pillow. It doesn't work, I can still hear somebody telling jokes about hippies and homos. Oh, why won't they disappear? Filled up bottles on the mantle, plastic cups on the TV tray, peanuts in a bowl, heard Albert on the stereo, the record with the whip cream lady. Singing sounds are heard from within. She's crying out in pain. This is awesome other name. The memory doesn't make us see so thin. The ashes are on fire with embers. What's changing to a painting, I don't know. Bodies start to move along through the tiny grooves as if the dictating music low. The red eyes strolling through the darkness. An odor that I almost recognize. Now the rhythmic sound seeking come from all around and drown the sound of slowly dying life. Life burns all come together. Maybe script is all into the flow. Sears, Weezer, Ware, Virgin with the kitchen chairs and Donnie. I've been howling on my radio. My parents are having a party. My parents are having a ball. Their voices grow louder with each passing hour. And cigarette smoke fills the hall.
Thanks very much.
Amazing. There's no basic training or anything. He's just shipped off to another country.
Yeah, just shipped off.
Jesus.
No business.
God. All right.
It's a new contract.
All right. So he's elsewhere. Where is he?
He's going back home to see his parents.
All right. Before he's deployed, Hank was allowed a final visit to his parents, who live in the same Sunny Slope Ranch house where Hank spent his childhood. Faded pictures of former TV patients, which Hank's parents never bothered to take down, line the living room walls. The majestic S Mountain can be seen through the grimy bay window. As is his custom, Hank's father is sitting in the Arizona room, his face mere inches from the shattered screen of a broken television set. A look of ancient pain and yearning etched on the hollowed contours of his face. Hank starts to say hello, but his father immediately waves into silence and leans in closer to the silent appliance. In frustration, Hank informs his father that he could sit in front of the television from now until doomsday. And Dick York still would not return from the cathode purgatory into which he'd been exiled. In response, his father rises to his full height in the bed and condemns Kay to death. His father sings the following lament of defiance and unutterable loss, the unofficial theme song of the baby boomer generation.
Not a lot of Copter fans out here tonight, I guess. Hey. I'll take you over here. Intermission. Keep your weights up. Intermission's over. Let's go. We got a lot of songs to get through.